One vote decides who will die. 50 strangers stand within red circles, afraid to move. An elderly man with silver hair clenches his hands, while a young police officer's uniform is drenched in cold sweat. In the center of the room, a black sphere hovers, with 50 white arrows crisscrossing, pointing at each person. In the first round, no one understands the rules. A woman steps outside her red circle. A flash of electricity. Her body falls. A terrified man steps back, meeting the same fate. Their palms illuminate with light circles as their bodies are dragged into darkness. Fear permeates the air. The man with the hat quickly discovers the truth. It's a voting system. Wave your hand, the arrow moves. Clench your fist, the arrow stops. Whoever receives the most votes in 1 minute dies. The countdown sounds like the footsteps of death itself. The group first attempts to vote for those already dead. Failure. Then they try not voting at all. The system randomly selects someone. Another failure. Each round, someone must die. The man in the striped jacket makes a cruel suggestion. Since death is inevitable, why not choose who dies first? Start with the elderly. They're closer to death anyway. Arrows unanimously point at an old man. A flash of light. One elderly person falls, then another. Age becomes the criterion for death. Next is a 52-year-old woman wearing a hat. She recently conquered a terminal illness. Her gaze still determined. A middle-aged police officer stands up in opposition. At this rate, after killing those in their 50s, they'll move to those in their 40s. A path to self-destruction. The arrows suddenly change direction. The man in stripes falls. The lesson of speaking out silences the crowd. The woman with the hat suggests self-introductions. A middle-aged woman begins to speak, her voice trembling. She's just an ordinary person. Before finishing her sentence, she becomes the next victim. Being ordinary has become a crime here. The dark forest rule engulfs the scene. No one dares speak as random deaths continue. The sheriff identifies a tattooed man who was once imprisoned for abusing his girlfriend. Explanations are futile. The tattooed man falls. A black woman is killed without reason, and her friend angrily questions racial discrimination. The sheriff's cold smile reveals his prejudice, believing certain groups are the root of social problems. His comments provoke collective anger, and the next second, he becomes another corpse on the floor. A soldier proposes a final plan. They're all in the same boat and should unite. Each person votes for the person to their right. Everyone gets one vote, perhaps balancing the system. The plan is implemented, yet someone still falls. A glimmer of hope flickers in the survivor's eyes. Someone's hand must have trembled. They decide to try again. The red light illuminates once more. The countdown continues. What is this test of humanity truly examining? Is it survival instinct or moral baseline? When death becomes the only exit, isn't human nature potentially more deadly than those white arrows? In a game where only one can survive, there are no right or wrong answers, only choices. And the most terrifying part isn't death itself, but the moment you cast your vote against another.